Hello everybody, this is Character More Let's Play Dawn of Souls Final Fantasy II Blind. One of the problems of the blind run is sometimes you do shit wrong. And I have done so today. Turns out I was supposed to put the white mask on the statues in Mysidia. Who knew? I didn't know. Did you know? You probably knew. I'd say you should have told me, but hell, you probably did in the comments. Too bad this is all pre-recorded, huh? Yeah. As I've stated before, my Let's Plays are pre-recorded well in advance, with some exceptions. And, your help, while I do appreciate it, on the level of, aw, they really want to help, completely useless, because what you're trying to stop has already happened. And the puzzle has already been solved, lest you would not see the Let's Play. Also, with Suikoden 2 and Final Fantasy 2, I need to stop doing things in advance. Like, oh, well, Final Fantasy 2 is going to air on this day. No more of that. It's getting me in trouble. It's making me have to rush to finish a game. You know, I should have a massive backlog of shit. Which, hopefully, going into 2018, I will. I'm hoping to go into 2018 with 2018 completely and utterly mapped out, and a huge backlog of shit for 2019, you know. Like, oh, well, this is a thing that happened. Hey, Kyrix, you ought to play Cybernator! Ah, well, as it happens, I already have. Here, let me plug that into the schedule, and boom, you have Cybernator. That's a real game, by the way. Used to love it as a kid. Probably sucked at it, though. It's one of those mini games that I beat because of Game Genie. Alright, let's try this. Shall we? Oops, nope. God damn it! Do the thing. Okay, apparently I put the white mask here first. Way too much crap. Touch. Why is it alive? That ain't right. That ain't right at all. But, yeah, I keep pigeonholing myself here. I keep locking myself into a schedule whether I want to or not. Which, don't get me wrong, I do want to play this, and I do want to play Suikoden 2. It's just, there's shit that gets in the way. I've got library books and library videos, actually, that I haven't been watching because I've been working on this. Or just being a lazy sack of shit. That one's happened more. Can't wait till I get a fucking airship. Mysidia wouldn't be half the chore that it is if I had an airship, that's all I'm saying. And an auto battle button would be stellar. An auto battle button would trivialize this fucking game. Just saying. Ah, shit! I meant to eat. Oh well. Nope. Big old ball of nope right there. But yeah, I'm drawn to the close on this, and that's cool. I love the fact that this is going swimmingly, that I'm not about to bump into a scheduling wall where, oh no, there's dead air. It's 3 whole weeks with no new episodes. No, I hate doing that. Just because the bulk of my viewers at this point in my thing don't necessarily pounce on every new video, doesn't mean that I shouldn't have a new video for them. You know? You never know. I might have a new viewer, a new subscriber who's like, I'm gonna subscribe because he played this, or something like that. Or maybe one of my videos came up, and for whatever reason they didn't do an archive crawl, you know? And then, Let's Play Dawn of Souls Final Fantasy II Episode 22 comes up. Like, oh, Final Fantasy II, never saw that. Here, I'm not going to start on Episode 22, but I'll start on Episode 1. Hey, this is a cool Let's Play, you know? Because sometimes when you do a search or you get an email, it's not the first one in the series that you get. Yeah, I looked up the questions for this, and they're like, what are you doing that a conversation's coming up in the first place? Why do I still have the white mask? Why do I still have half this shit? Just saying, all I had to do was lead it up to the thing if it's copying my movements. Lead it up the ladder and walk it away. Or, you know, kill it. Little stab murder never hurt anybody, except the person who was stab murdered. I was kinda hoping that there wouldn't be more floors to this fucking place. That's why. Oh, these are neat. Speaking of which, I gotta get to the library later today. They got a book for me called Survival of the Fittest, which I think I've read before. Good book. It's about these things that look like manta rays, and they live in like the Marianas Trench. And for whatever reason, they're coming up to the surface, and they're carnivorous. And they can fly to a certain extent. Not sure why. It's a fucking slasher movie as a book. You know, it's not supposed to necessarily be, oh, this is not scientific. No, it's a fucking slasher movie. Enjoy it. But yeah, it's blatantly wrong in many things that it does. But I don't care because it's entertaining. I also gotta see if I can get Against All Enemies, because that was an interesting book. I could very well in the near future see that book being banned because of what it's about. You know. For those who don't know, I think it's by William Coyle. Against All Enemies is this book that starts out with this guy carrying off a terrorist attack against someone in Congress. And it gets people talking like, hey, these Congress guys, they're fucktards, they're not working for us. And basically, this group of just suburban families get together and become a fucking terror cell who murders congressmen. Because they're sick of their shit. And understandably so. You know? Just, hey, we've had enough of this. It's time for a change. It's time you start fucking doing your work. And it's a pretty good book. And I could see a lot of people with that particular sensibility these days. Oh my god, Congress hasn't fucking worked in like 20 years at least. If it even worked then. But it's gotten worse. And the title's a play off of one of the armed forces, or maybe all of them, has a saying, against all enemies, foreign or domestic. Meaning that the armed forces will stand up to those who threaten America, whether they're a hostile country or people inside our country. Although I don't think they meant Congress. Of course, they're not soldiers in the book. But it's a good book. I'm not going to spoil how either of those end, but the readers in my audience should take note. Gyrex is hosting online Reading Rainbow. I'm the White LeVar Burton. Hey, there are worse things to be than a guy who gets people to read. The thing that amazed me is just how long Reading Rainbow actually ran for. I looked it up one time, and that thing went on up until like a couple of years before I actually looked. Like, I think I looked this up like a year or two ago, and it ran until like 5 years before I looked. So it was, wow. What do you think? Because I figured once I got out of elementary school that it just got canceled or something. No, it went for years and years after I was out of fucking high school. And good for it. It's a good thing. Reading Rainbow was... I remember a couple times I'd watch Reading Rainbow. For those of you who don't know, Reading Rainbow was a show hosted by LeVar Burton. I think it was even his idea. And it basically was aimed to get little kids to read. And in my school, at least, here in Florida, I went to Southern Oak Elementary. We would, I don't know if it was live or pre-recorded or what, but the teacher would wheel the TV in and we'd watch Reading Rainbow. And he'd mention several books, and he'd go over, in detail, at least one of them. Like, we would literally have story time at one point, you know, in the book. And then he'd give, like, summaries and synopses, like, oh, you should, this is a good book, blah, 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 this happens, this happens, this happens. But don't take my word for it, go read it for yourself, you know. And I can think of half a dozen books that I read that I saw on Reading Rainbow. I can't remember them, but it happened, like, oh, I really want to read this book. And then I'd go to my school library and check out the fucking book, you know. And it was pretty good for a show, you know. It made me read. It'd be nice. I don't think Reading Rainbow is still running, but it would be nice to be a part of that. Well, if I just had a little more self-confidence, I'd try to start a version of that on YouTube, but I'm a fucking nobody, so who'd watch it, you know? I gotta check on the book club thing, because we had a book club up at, well, not we. They have a book club up at the store that I game at, because it's a bookstore. Oh, power staff, that's useful. Maybe. And I was, you know, interested in joining it, but I didn't have the means to get any copies of the books. But I have my library card now. I can get these books. It might be fun to just join the book club and do stuff like that. Granted, it's a 45-minute bike ride up there, but that's like, what, once a month, I think? I can handle that. Even my lazy ass can handle that. It would be the most wonderful thing in the world if I didn't have to go through every single fake end of this cave. Eh? Eh? No? Fuck you too, game. Fuck you too, Dawn of Souls. Ah, there we go. Old store piece of shit. At least it's not maze-like in the same way the others were, where there's like 3 ways down each floor. No. I don't mind a maze as long as there's only 1 way down, because I will eventually find that way. And when I say 1 way down, I don't mean if you go down staircase 1 on floor 2, you'll get a dead end. But if you go down staircase 3 on floor 2, you'll advance. No. 1 staircase up, 1 staircase down. I'll wander that maze all fucking day. I don't care, but... Really? Oh, staircase. I'm about to say, did you literally just do that to me? But yeah, the Reading Rainbow was a pretty cool show. Part of me wants to look up episodes for nostalgia value, but aside from the Star Trek one, there's really nothing there for me, you know? I'm so far above that reading grade now, and there are a couple books that I read when I was a kid, mostly like nature books and shit. that I would love to see, just for the nostalgia factor and to see if there was anything new I'd learned on the subject. Like, there were these books. It was a series, and it was like, the blank does amazing things, or the strangest things. Like, fish do the strangest things, or insects do amazing things. And they would, I think it was usually the strangest, but occasionally it was like amazing things. And I used to love those, because I would learn things, like, even the plant book, and I don't like plants, but I learned about, like, all the carnivorous plants out there. Those were really cool. I learned about all sorts of bugs, you know, because there was a book about them, shit like that. It was really, really informative. I would love to read that, just like, oh, I forgot this thing even existed, you know, or, oh, I've learned so much more about this. And then there were my old dinosaur books, which are all completely out of date these days, but I don't care. Wait, did this just... Okay, what did I just do? I just fucked up, that's what I just did. But, I mean, there's not much to be gained. I mean, you gotta figure, these are for kids who aren't even in the double-digit age group yet. They weren't exactly advanced books for the time. I just happened to be one of the few students who gave a shit back then. I can't really say that. For all I know, that was a very popular book. But yeah, I mean, part of me just misses that. That's one thing I loved about elementary school, is when they wheel the TV in. I gotta say, a lot of people, especially throughout my age group or whatever, and when I say throughout, I don't mean like, I mean literally throughout, like, oh, when I was a kid, they made fun of it. When I was a teen, they made fun of it, etc. A lot of people make fun of educational programming, but you really shouldn't, because as it turns out, it fucking works. There is so much shit that I know simply because the teacher wheeled the TV in and we watched it, you know. Plus, there's the fact that just any TV in general can be a welcome break from a lesson. Like, believe it or not, and thinking back on it now, because back in high school, this never would have even occurred to me to wonder about. But in high school, I can't even tell you what class, because I don't remember, much less who the teacher was. But this is up in Citrus County. One of my teachers, like on Tuesdays or something, would wheel in a TV and we'd watch Touched by an Angel. Which is, quite frankly, religious programming, you know. But it never, despite being blatantly religious, and it is, never really felt obtrusive to me, never got offended by it. I enjoyed it, quite frankly. I mean, that's something that, if I could find episodes, I might watch recreationally. You know? And longtime viewers may know that I have problems with just religion in general. But that doesn't mean that I can't enjoy just simple, mindless TV, you know? Because here's the thing. When you present religion in a blatantly fictional setting, I got no problem with it. Like, what's a good example? This wasn't a popular movie, but Legion, which was about the well, not the Antichrist, but the second coming of Jesus, etc. A lot of people didn't like that movie. I enjoyed that movie. I had fun with it, you know. See, my issues with religion come with the fact that in our world, none of it seems to pan out. But you put it in a fictional world where there really is a God and there really are angels and you can touch them, yeah, I'll go for it. I'll watch that. I'll enjoy that. You know? And for those watching who may immediately leap to the comments, please don't clutter my comments with religious debate. If you want to have that conversation, message me. I will have that conversation. I have no problem having that conversation. But I'd like to keep it out of my comment section, please. Just because these things invariably get ugly, and I'd rather not have that in my comment section. You know? I'm not shying away from the conversation. Hell, if you want, you can make a video and invite me to have the comment in your comment section. You know, I don't mind that it's out there. I just don't want it in my fucking videos. These are stupid videos about a guy playing video games and talking over them. It's not a place for philosophical debate. Part of me, though, wants to make a channel devoted to that, but I don't stay current with enough of this shit, and quite frankly, I don't have the stomach for most of it. You're seriously gonna make me fight these guys, aren't you? When I say the stomach, I don't mean I can't put up with the argument. I can't watch the videos to make reactions to. I'll watch a lot of these people make react videos, and I'm like, how the fuck did you sit through that? I couldn't. You know? I couldn't imagine sitting through half of these videos. It's just, it hurts. It's like, wow, there's something fucked up here. How do you get your brain to do that? You know? One of my big issues is the fact that with some of the religious debates, they're going over shit that I learned in elementary school. And they're doing it with an understanding below what I had in elementary school. And my response to that is, where the fuck did you go to school that they didn't teach you this? They taught me this, and I'm in public school, and nobody has anything good to say about public school. You know? And I'm sure there's at least one person thinking, well, yeah, you were in public school, that's why you were taught this. But no, it's what the fuck, man? How do you get through life with so little knowledge? And then be proud of that fact? It just boggles my mind. I'm ashamed when I don't know shit. Of course, I'm more ashamed when I continue to not know shit. I think it's funny that friggin' SJW's favorite phrase is educate yourself, and they never take that advice. You need to educate yourself! Read a book! You read a book. We read a book. That's why we don't agree with you. Fucking shit. Really? You're casting holy, I don't care. Yeah, this one went off the rails quickly, didn't it? But yeah, it's little minor fuck-ups like not putting the mask on the statue that are gonna make this thing be 27 episodes or more long, you know? Personally, I'd be happy with 26, but I think it's gonna go beyond that. Whatever. I don't care, as long as it works. Of course, to be fair, I think when I was doing Dawn of Souls Final Fantasy I, I don't think I was necessarily doing the half-hour format. No. Don't you dare try to run away when I'm so close to winning. Throw away all this shit that I don't need. I want to slap the guy who designed the encounter rate for this game. Because you did too much. I'm gonna guess it's the one on the far end, because it always is. Middle? Choice number 2. Of course this game's gonna fake me out. Why wouldn't it? One of the reasons I wish that I had money is because then I could pay someone to edit these fights out. Well, not these fights, I'm talking during them, but I mean, if I had someone who would edit for me. Treasure. Alex likes treasure. But I mean, if I had an editor who would actually go over my videos and cut shit, that would make my videos so much better. Because then I could literally just, oh, okay, I'm not going to talk in this fight. You know, and I would just have however long. Like, oh, encounter, blip. And then have the encounter and then talk, you know. And the reason I say if I had money is because I would have to pay someone just for the sheer amount of videos I put out. I mean, unless you're a subscriber and get messages in your inbox when I upload a video, I don't think you really appreciate how much, I keep wanting to say product, but how much content I put out a week. You know, you're looking at, unless I've hit some kind of schedule slip, you're looking at a minimum of 8 videos a week. And sometimes there are more, like in June, when the 4-Job Fiesta hits. What the fuck, that hurt! But in June, when the 4-Job Fiesta is a thing, you will see me putting out 15 videos a week until it's over. 15 a week. 2 per day, 3 on Wednesdays. That's a lot. Just in case you didn't know how numbers work, that's a fucking lot. Be aware also that will be, that 7 of those videos will, or 8 of those videos will be semi-live content. Well, no, only one of them, because I'm going to be recording well in advance on the 4-Job Fiesta, but you get the idea. Not well in advance, I gotta wait until June actually happens, but I mean, I'm not gonna, oh, here's today's episode, here's tomorrow's episode, you know? It's gonna be, I'm gonna do as many as I can, and then we're gonna run with it. I love the 4-Job Fiesta. I wish it happened more often. I wish it was like a fucking 4 times a year thing, like once a season. Just, let's raise money! I like the format of it, because in games that give you jobs or things you can independently level, I tend to do that, to the expense of everything else. Well, the 4-Job Fiesta says, these are your classes. You have, at best, 4 classes per character, at worst, 1 class per character. So I don't spend 37 hours leveling all of the magic classes, for example. I want these. I will never use them, but I want them. Because I am a gamer, and I have been conditioned to greed. Laner Ferengi talking. Speaking of Ferengi, in a couple more days, actually. 2 more days, in fact. I get to play Star Trek. I'm excited. I'm not playing Ferengi this time. I'm playing, Klingons and Xindi, actually. And I think I've got a reasonable shot at the top 4. You know? I don't necessarily think I'm going to win. But we'll see. I could be entirely wrong, and I have been before. Kyrix fucking want. Give it! Oh, damn it. I want those treasure chests. I don't even know what's in them. I don't even care what's in them, I just want them. They could all be monsters guarding potions. I don't care, I want those chests. I'm setting such a good example. Greed is good. I think that's actually one of the, no, greed is eternal. I was about to say, I think greed is good is one of the rules of acquisition. It might be. I know greed is eternal is, but greed is good might be one too. Wish I had that kind of mental retention that I could learn all the rules of acquisition and just know them. Of course, it would also help if they you know, released all of the rules of acquisition on some. Oh, she's adorable! She's all chibi. Although not not nearly as many as in other games. Oh, that's cute. That's fucking cute. Oh, that's a Basuna stat, huh? Okay. Wow. Fuck me. But yeah, the 4-job fiesta is something I genuinely enjoy doing. Partly because it keeps me on a tight leash and doesn't let me roam too much. And I need that for job games, I really do. Ooh, finally the Osmo Stone. And there's the Crystal Rod. Perfect! I will see you guys next time after I teleport out. Bye-bye, everybody.